Every day, every human, no matter how rich or poor, wakes up with the same currency, 24 hours. Yet some build empires while others drown in mediocrity. Why? It's not luck. It's not privilege. It's mastery, the mastery of time. The truth that most never dare to face is that your life is not controlled by opportunities, but by how you manage your hours. Each second is either building your future or burying it. Successful people don't have more time. They simply refuse to waste it on things that don't move their soul forward. The difference between an average life and an extraordinary one is how you treat the moments that no one sees. The hours when the world is quiet, the minutes you could scroll but instead choose to learn, the seconds where you either react emotionally or act intentionally. Time is not passing, you are. And the brutal truth is that your wasted hours are silently forming your regret. Those who win in life treat time like oxygen. They protect it, value it, and understand that one breath wasted could mean the difference between greatness and regret. Successful people see time differently. They don't measure it in minutes or hours, they measure it in results. To them, 10 minutes of deep focus is worth more than 10 hours of distraction. They don't say, I don't have time. They say, I didn't make it a priority. Because they know that time, once gone, doesn't return. You don't lose money when you waste time. You lose moments that could have rewritten your destiny. And that's the kind of loss no currency can ever recover. Every second you trade for comfort is a second stolen from your potential. Look around. The world is filled with people waiting for the right time, yet their lives remain frozen. The right time doesn't exist. The successful create it. They understand that the clock doesn't stop for hesitation. While most are waiting for motivation, they move. They fail faster, learn quicker, and rise earlier. They live in rhythm with progress, not procrastination. The secret is not in doing more, but in doing what matters most. You can be busy every day and still go nowhere. The difference between motion and progress is focus. Every successful person builds their life around priorities, not distractions. They don't fill their calendars, they fill their purpose. They know that saying yes to everything means saying no to excellence. Their time is sacred, guarded like a treasure, because they know it determines everything they become. Success begins when you realize your 24 hours are your battlefield. Every morning you wake up at war, against laziness, against distraction, against your weaker self whispering, you can do it later. That voice is your enemy. Every time you silence it and move anyway, you win a battle. Every time you give in, you lose a piece of your power. The successful win the day because they conquer the inner resistance before sunrise. If you ever wonder why your dreams feel far away, look at how you spend your mornings. Successful people don't chase time. They command it. They wake up before the world demands their attention. They don't start the day reacting to messages or scrolling through noise. They start it by aligning their energy with their mission. Because they know the first hour of the day isn't just time, it's direction. Lose that and the day owns you. Win it and the world can't stop you. You want to manage time like the greats? Stop saying I don't have time and start saying it's not my priority. It will sting. It will hurt your excuses. But that pain will wake you up. The truth is, you always have time for what truly matters. You just keep trading it for comfort, gossip, and temporary pleasure. Success demands brutal honesty, and nothing is more brutal than realizing you are the reason your dreams are delayed. The most successful people don't find balance. They build rhythm. Balance is for those who want peace. Rhythm is for those who want power. They move with intensity, rest with purpose, and design their days with precision. Every hour is intentional. Even their leisure serves their growth. They treat their schedule like a sculpture, cutting away what doesn't belong until all that remains is excellence. There is no secret routine that makes someone successful. It's the mindset behind the routine. When they say no to a distraction, they're not being disciplined. They're being free. Discipline is not punishment, it's liberation. Because when your time serves your purpose, your life stops being random. You stop drifting and start designing. And that's when your 24 hours transform from ordinary to unstoppable. Every second you complain is a second stolen from your creation. The successful don't dwell on what's unfair, they transform it. They understand that time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't pause for your pain or slow down for your fear. It keeps moving, indifferent and unforgiving. That's why they don't wait for perfect conditions. They build in chaos. They execute in discomfort. They understand that mastery begins when convenience ends. The moment you realize that 24 hours is all you'll ever get each day, you begin to see time as sacred. Not something to kill, but something to use like fire, with caution and purpose. The reason most people burn out isn't because they work too much. It's because they work without direction. Successful people work less on random things and more on meaningful ones. They know that energy follows clarity, and clarity is the currency of champions. Time management isn't about scheduling your tasks, it's about designing your life. It's not about fitting more in, it's about cutting the unnecessary out. It's about asking yourself, if I died today, would this be worth an hour of my life? Because every minute you give to something meaningless is a minute you'll never get back. And that question alone can redefine your priorities forever. You will never master time until you master yourself. Your phone is not the problem, your habits are. Your environment is not the problem, your excuses are. The successful don't fight time, they align with it. They know that time doesn't bend for anyone, but it rewards those who respect it. And when you start respecting time, life starts respecting you. The truth is shocking but simple. You don't need more hours in a day. You need more purpose in your hours. Time expands for those who move with intention and shrinks for those who wander without direction. The successful aren't faster, luckier, or smarter. They're simply aware. They know every hour is an opportunity disguised as a decision, and they choose differently. Every successful person lives by one golden law: protect your attention. Because where your attention goes, your time flows. You can't master your 24 hours if you keep giving pieces of your mind to everyone and everything. Notifications, gossip, mindless scrolling, they are not just distractions. They are time thieves. They rob you quietly, minute by minute, until your dreams vanish into someday. The people who rise to greatness understand that focus is the new superpower. They treat it as sacred energy, and they guard it like life itself. When you start treating your time as currency, everything changes. You stop saying yes to every request. You stop trying to please everyone. You stop living like your hours are infinite. Because they're not. The successful don't chase after everything, they chase what matters. They understand that saying no to distractions is the highest form of respect for their own potential. You are not here to do everything. You are here to do the right things brilliantly. Time management is not about clocks and calendars. It's about consciousness. You can plan every second of your day and still waste it if you don't live awake. The successful don't just manage time. They manage energy, emotion, and direction. They move through their day with awareness. They don't multitask their purpose. They are fully present with whatever they do, because they know that presence is the secret ingredient that turns minutes into mastery. You can always tell who will win by how they spend their downtime. When most people rest, they disconnect completely, binging, scrolling, numbing. But successful people rest to recharge, not escape. They know that rest is part of rhythm. They read, reflect, plan, breathe. Their breaks are strategic, not impulsive. They use their downtime to sharpen their mind, not dull it. That's why they never burn out. They know that success is not a sprint. It's a lifetime of smart pacing. The clock doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't slow down when you're unmotivated. That's why the greats rely on systems, not moods. They build habits that protect them from their weaker selves. They don't wait to feel ready. They create readiness through action. Every system they design frees their time for creativity and impact. Their structure doesn't cage them, it liberates them. Because they know chaos kills progress, and clarity creates it. If you want to own your time, stop living in reaction mode. Most people spend their entire day responding to messages, to problems, to other people's priorities. Successful people flip that script. They start their day with creation, not reaction. They write before they read. They plan before they reply. They build before they check. Because they understand that every time they react first, they lose control of their 24 hours. They refuse to be puppets of other people's agendas. Imagine your time as a mirror of your destiny. Every hour reflects who you're becoming. When you waste time, you aren't just wasting minutes. You're shaping a version of yourself that accepts mediocrity. The successful see time as identity. Their schedule reflects their values. Their hours tell the story of their purpose. That's why they rise earlier, stay longer, and think deeper. Their time and their dreams are one and the same. Time doesn't multiply, it magnifies. It reveals what's inside you. If you are disciplined, it multiplies your results. If you are lazy, it multiplies your regrets. Every day acts like an amplifier of your habits. Successful people understand this universal truth. How you spend your day is how you spend your life. That's why they live each day like a micro version of their dream life. They don't wait for someday. They live like it's today. The clock is neutral. It doesn't favor the rich or the poor, the talented or the struggling. It rewards only those who respect it. The successful are ruthless with their priorities because they know time respects those who move with purpose. You can either manage your hours or be managed by them. There is no middle ground. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," time whispers back, "You just gave it away." You can't cheat time, but you can collaborate with it. When you align your goals, your habits, and your hours, time becomes your ally. Every day starts to compound in your favor. Momentum builds, confidence grows, and opportunities appear. The successful live in this rhythm of consistency. Their 24 hours are not random. They are deliberate, like a symphony where every note is intentional. The reason most people feel they don't have enough time is because they fill their days with the unimportant. They confuse movement with progress. They are constantly busy, but rarely fulfilled. Successful people do less, but achieve more because they master subtraction. They remove the unnecessary, automate the repetitive, and delegate the trivial. They know that time expands for those who dare to simplify. Every morning is a test of how much you value your future. You can hit snooze and delay your destiny, or rise and design it. The successful wake up early not because it's trendy, but because it's quiet. The world belongs to those who use the silence before sunrise to shape their next move. That early hour is their hidden advantage. When others dream, they plan. When others delay, they execute. That's how they stay ahead. Your 24 hours are not equal in value. What you do in your first hour defines the rest. The successful start their day with intention. They don't wake up to exist. They wake up to expand. They write their goals, move their body, sharpen their mind. Because they know if you conquer your morning, you've already conquered your day. The world's noise can't break a mind that's already anchored in purpose. There's a brutal truth that few will admit. Time is slipping through your fingers faster than you think. Every day you procrastinate is a day you'll beg to have back later. Successful people live with urgency, not panic, but purpose. They understand that the clock is not their enemy, it's their reminder. A reminder that every second counts, every choice matters, and every delay costs something you can never recover. If you want to live like them, start by becoming obsessed with time, not scared of it. Watch it, measure it, respect it. Let it remind you of your mortality, not your limitations. Because the awareness that your hours are finite doesn't make you anxious. It makes you powerful. It ignites fire. The successful are not just good with time, they are alive in it. They understand that 24 hours is not just a day, it's a life in miniature. If you truly want to rise, you must stop chasing time and start designing it. The successful treat each day like a blueprint, not a blur. They know that vague intentions create wasted hours, but structured clarity creates empires. They don't hope the day will go well. They engineer it. They prepare the night before, visualize their goals, and decide in advance how every hour will serve their mission. Because if you don't decide where your time goes, the world will decide for you. Look closely at those who are ahead. They move with invisible precision. Every meeting, every call, every pause has purpose. They don't rush, they don't drift. They flow with intention. That calm confidence you see in them is not arrogance, it's control. They own their hours, so they own their results. While the average person is drowning in reaction, they are quietly steering their life toward dominance. You will never manage time if you keep managing emotions first. The weak live by how they feel. The strong live by what must be done. Successful people act independent of mood. They don't need motivation to move. They've trained themselves to act regardless. Because they know that discipline is stronger than inspiration. You can't rely on feeling ready every day. You must become the kind of person who moves even when you don't feel like it. That's how time begins to serve you. The truth about success is not glamorous. It's precise. It's in the tiny, consistent acts that compound silently while others waste hours chasing dopamine. The successful live by rituals, not randomness. Their routines are not cages, they are catapults. They repeat what works until mastery becomes automatic. Their time management is not about productivity, it's about predictability. They design predictably successful days, one after another, until it becomes impossible for them to fail. You are already using your 24 hours. The only question is whether they're building your dream or someone else's. Every time you scroll mindlessly, answer meaningless drama, or say yes when you should say no, you're funding someone else's vision with your time. The successful understand this transaction deeply. That's why they protect their hours with the same ferocity that others protect money. Because they know time is the real wealth, and it's disappearing by the second. Every wasted hour accumulates like debt, and life will collect it with interest. The successful refuse to owe time anything. They live with a sense of accountability to their future self. Every action is a deposit or withdrawal. They track not just what they do, but what it costs. Because they know the future isn't shaped by what you plan. It's shaped by what you repeatedly do with your hours today. To manage your 24 hours like the greats, you must learn to say no without guilt. Average people drown in obligations that don't serve their purpose. They fear disappointing others more than they fear disappointing themselves. The successful do the opposite. They decline what doesn't align. Their no is powerful because it protects their yes. They are not rude, they are focused. They understand that time spent pleasing others can never replace time invested in progress. If you ever want to see how someone truly values time, watch how they handle interruptions. The unsuccessful let anyone invade their focus. A message, a call, a distraction, they drop everything. But the successful, they build walls around their concentration. They finish what they start. They understand that every break in focus resets momentum. Time lost to interruption is time stolen from greatness. Time is not something you manage once. It's something you recalibrate daily. Even the most disciplined people review, adjust, and improve how they spend their hours. They analyze what drained them, what grew them, what moved them closer to purpose. Because managing time is not perfection, it's awareness. The successful are not rigid, they are adaptable. They evolve with every day, always refining the art of living efficiently. The average person wastes hours doubting, while the successful spend those hours doing. Action reveals time's true power. You can't think your way to better time management. You must act your way there. You must experiment, fail, learn, and repeat. That's how you find your rhythm. That's how you create flow. The successful don't wait for the perfect method. They use what works, discard what doesn't, and move relentlessly forward. Your phone, your habits, your thoughts, they are all either tools or traps. The successful have learned to use their tools with precision. Their phones don't own them, they own the device. Their habits don't drain them, they define them. Every notification is filtered, every app serves a purpose. Every habit earns its place. Because they know technology should amplify their time, not assassinate it. Time doesn't care about your dreams. It only responds to your discipline. You can visualize, affirm, and dream all day. But if you don't act within your hours, nothing will change. The successful don't pray for more time. They maximize what they already have. Their secret isn't that they have less distractions. It's that they've built stronger filters. They've trained themselves to spot time wasters instantly and remove them without hesitation. When you begin to respect time, your entire aura changes. You start to walk differently, think differently, speak differently. You stop tolerating chaos, stop chasing trends, and start mastering rhythm. The successful exude calm because they know where their hours go. They live from structure, not stress. They understand that clarity is not boring. It's powerful. And when your time is in order, your mind follows. If you truly desire success, stop trying to find time and start creating it. Cut deeper than you ever have. Audit your 24 hours ruthlessly. Every wasted minute is a brick removed from your dream's foundation. Every intentional one is a brick added. The successful are builders, hour by hour, habit by habit. They understand that life is not about having time, it's about carving it out of chaos until your schedule reflects your soul. You are not running out of time, you are running out of excuses. The difference between where you are and where you want to be lies in how you spend your next 24 hours. The clock is not your enemy, it's your mirror. Every tick asks you one question. Are you honoring the time you've been given, or are you wasting the miracle of existence? The successful answer with action. Every single day. The people you admire didn't get there by accident. They didn't stumble into mastery or luck into greatness. They took their 24 hours and weaponized them. They lived each day as if their dreams depended on it, because they did. They understood that every hour not used intentionally is a betrayal to the life they could have lived. They didn't need to be perfect. They just needed to be present, consistent, and unshakably devoted to progress. You must begin to see time as the most sacred form of currency. You can earn money back, regain health, rebuild relationships, but time once spent is gone forever. Successful people live with this truth burning in their minds. That's why they treat every hour like a limited edition, rare, precious, and worthy only of what truly matters. They don't waste it proving themselves to others. They spend it becoming undeniable. The greatest trap of modern life is busyness without purpose. The average person mistakes activity for accomplishment, but the successful see through that illusion. They measure their day not by how much they did, but by how much impact they created. They don't brag about being busy. They brag about being effective. Their focus is sharp, their goals clear, and their execution ruthless, because they know that motion without meaning is just noise. Success is not built in years, it's built in hours. It's built in the small, silent choices no one sees. The decision to study when others sleep, the choice to plan instead of procrastinate, the courage to take action instead of waiting for motivation. These are the invisible bricks of greatness. And those who master their 24 hours are quietly laying the foundation of a legacy the world will one day notice too late. If you want to own your time, you must first own your mornings. That first hour is the command center of your destiny. What you do before the world wakes up defines how the world treats you. The successful wake with clarity. They don't grab their phones, they grab their purpose. They don't start their day reacting to noise, they start by aligning with silence. Because silence reveals direction, and direction creates dominance. But remember, Managing time is not about speed. It's about depth. You can rush through 1,000 tasks and still achieve nothing. The successful do fewer things, but they go all in. They dive deep. They pour their energy into mastery, not multitasking. They live by one law, quality over quantity, always. Because in a world obsessed with doing more, they are obsessed with doing right. You cannot master your time until you learn to be alone with it. The most powerful people in the world are not afraid of solitude. They crave it. They know that silence is where ideas are born, strategies are sharpened, and purpose is refined. When others run from stillness, the successful run toward it. They use isolation as incubation. Because when the noise disappears, truth finally speaks. Time rewards the bold. Those who hesitate watch opportunities evaporate. The successful act fast, not recklessly, but fearlessly. They don't overthink the moment, they seize it, because they know that hesitation is a thief disguised as caution. They live with urgency, not because they fear death, but because they respect life. Their 24 hours are a battlefield, and every minute is a chance to win. There's one habit every successful person shares. They reflect daily. At the end of each day, they review not what they did, but what they became. They ask, did I live on purpose today? Did my actions align with my values? Did I move closer to the life I want? This reflection keeps them sharp, grounded, and evolving. Because managing time isn't about control, it's about awareness. And awareness turns every mistake into mastery. The world glorifies productivity, but the wise glorify peace. The successful don't fill every hour. They protect white space. Because creativity needs room to breathe. They schedule rest as intentionally as work. They meditate, walk, disconnect, because they know stillness sharpens clarity. They understand that a well-managed 24 hours includes both creation and restoration. Too much of either destroys balance. Mastery requires both. Every second you waste doubting yourself is a second someone else is using to dominate. The successful don't have less fear. They just refuse to let fear slow their clock. They move through uncertainty, trusting that clarity will come through action. They don't wait to be confident. They earn confidence through execution. Because the fastest way to destroy potential is to wait for the perfect moment. It never comes. If you ever want to change your life, start by changing one day. Not tomorrow, today. Focus on winning your next 24 hours. Manage it like it's your last. Because it could be. When you begin to live with that urgency, distractions disappear and priorities sharpen. The successful don't live forever. They just make every day count as if they do. That's how their names echo long after their clocks stop ticking. Your time is your story. Every hour you spend is a sentence you write. Every choice is a word. Every habit a paragraph. What kind of story are you writing? Is it one of regret or one of relentless pursuit? The successful write with intention. They edit ruthlessly. They remove what doesn't belong. Because they know when their final chapter arrives, the world will read how they used their hours. The clock is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Every tick reminds you that life is temporary, and that's what makes it meaningful. You can let time control you, or you can become its master. You can waste your hours chasing comfort, or you can use them to carve your greatness. The successful chose mastery, not once but daily, because time once conquered becomes the most loyal servant of destiny. And so, the truth stands eternal. Everyone gets 24 hours, but not everyone truly lives them. The successful don't wait for inspiration. They create it. They don't spend time. They invest it. They don't chase hours, they command them. You can too. Your clock is ticking, not as a threat but as a reminder. A reminder that your life is not measured in years, but in what you do with each precious day. Start now. Manage your 24 hours like the greats, and time will stop working against you. It will start working for you.